Herkese merhaba demek istiyorum. Hoş geldiniz. Değerli vaktinizi ayırdınız. Excellence'in Education Webinar serimizde bugün University of Essex'i ağırlıyoruz. Çok değerli bir üniversite. Çok güzel bilgiler aktaracak Heather bize. Ben Heather'ı size takdim edeceğim. Ama öncesinde çok kısa BEB ile ilgili bilgi aktarmak istiyorum. Bir de hatırlatıcı bazı bilgiler aktaracağım akademik eğitim sistemiyle ilgili İngiltere'nin. Sevda Öncelbat ben. British Education Büro'nun kurucusuyum. Aynı zamanda eğitim direktörüyüm. Eğer benimle yeni tanışacak olanlar varsa. Hemen ilk slaydımızda BEB kimdirle başlayalım. BEB Essex Üniversitesi'nin Türkiye'deki resmi temsilcisi. Bu organizasyona ev sahipliği yapan kurum. Biz 2002 yılında Oxford'da kurulduk. İngiliz ve Türk kurucu ortaklarla birlikte. 19 yıldır da Türkiye'de, İstanbul'da, Ankara ve İzmir'de ofislerimiz var. Öğrencilerimize Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitimle ilgili yardımcı ve destek oluyoruz. Uzmanlık alanımız İngiliz eğitim sistemi. Üniversitelerin giriş şartları, başvuru süreci, sizi orada bekleyen her şey aslında. Tüm danışmanlarımız İngiliz eğitim sistemine vakıf. Bu konuda sürekli kendini yenileyen bir kadroya da sahip aynı zamanda. Hatta şu anda British Council'ın eğitimini alıyoruz hep beraber tekrar. Birleşik Krallık'ta 130 tane üniversite vardır ve bu üniversitelerin 90'ının Türkiye'de resmi temsilciliğini yapmakta. Temsilciliğini yaptığımız üniversitelerimiz için de ücretsiz hizmet sunuyoruz öğrencilerimize. Üniversite seçimini neye göre yapmalı bir öğrenci? Bu önemli bir nokta, o yüzden atlamadan geçmek istemiyorum. Ülke seçimine karar verdikten sonra öğrenciler bölüm seçimi yapmalılar. Okul seçimi öncesi bölüm seçimi çok daha önemli bir detay. Ülkemize karar verdik. Hangi ülkeye gitmek istiyoruz ya da en azından ülkeleri daraltıp ikiye indirdiğimizi varsayalım, düşünelim. Akabininde bölüm seçimi yapmalıyız. Bize en uygun bölümün ne olacağını belirledikten sonra da okul seçimine geçmeliyiz. Bunun sebebi şu, her üniversitede istediğimiz bölümler olmayabilir ve İngiltere'de üniversiteler bölüm bazlı, yani fakülte bazlı başarılı kazanırlar. Her üniversitenin her bölümü başarılı değildir. Dolayısıyla bölüm bazlı başarı sıralamalarına bakmanız çok önemlidir Birleşik Krallık'ta. Okul seçimini de yaptıktan sonra ya da okul seçimi yaparken baz alacağımız farklı kriterler de olacaktır. Başarı sıralaması elbette. Şehirlere bakabilirsiniz. Büyük şehirde mi eğitim almak istersiniz? Küçük şehir insanı mısınız? Buna göre şehir seçimi yapabilirsiniz. Belki de seyahatinize en rahat yapabileceğiniz şehir seçmek istersiniz. Ya da ben metropol bir şehirde, Londra'da olmak istiyorum diyebilirsiniz. Kampüs seçimi yapabilirsiniz akabininde. İngiltere'deki, Birleşik Krallık'taki üniversiteler daha doğrusu şehir üniversitesi ve kampüs üniversitesi olarak ikiye ayrılırlar. Kampüs üniversitesi bizim Türkiye'de bildiğimiz ve anladığımız tüm fasilitilere sahip olan bir düzene sahiptir. Şehir üniversiteleri de şehrin içerisindedir. Gene kendilerine ait küçük kampüsleri vardır ama kampüs üniversitesi gibi belki de bankayı, sağlık ocağını, aklımıza gelebilecek her şeyi barındırmıyordur içerisinde. Öyle düşünebiliriz. Daha sonra sosyal imkanlara bakabiliriz seçim yaparken. Bir de arzu edersek milliyet dağılımına da bakabiliriz. Birleşik Krallık üniversiteleri bu konuda oldukça şeffaftırlar çünkü. Ben Birleşik Krallık'ta 4 ülkenin olduğunu hemen hatırlatmak istiyorum size. Adanın en üstüne baktığımız zaman Newcastle'a kadar olan kısım İskoçya. Adanın, ülkenin doğusu tamamen, mouse'umu görebiliyor iseniz, doğusu İngiltere'dir. Adanın batısı Bangor ve Swansea'yı da içine alacak şekilde Galler ve Belfast'ı içine alacak şekilde de Kuzey İrlanda'yı kapsamaktadır. 130 tane devlet üniversitesi var dedik. Türkiye'de birçoğunun yok denkliği mevcut. Yok denkliği olmayan muhtemelen 10 üniversite vardır, öyle diyebilirim. İnteraktif bir eğitim sistemine dahil, yani sizi de eğitimin içine alır ve sizlerin de kendinizi ifade edebileceğiniz farklı donelerle eğitebileceğiniz, geliştirebileceğiniz bir sisteme sahip. Lisans eğitimim İngiltere'de, Galler'de ve Kuzey İrlanda'da 3 yıl, İskoçya'da ise 4 yıldır. Bazı ana bilim dalları 3 yıldan daha uzun bir süreci kapsıyor. Bir sonraki slaytımda ondan da değiniyor olacağım. Olur da lisans eğitimimizde istediğimiz üniversiteye giriş şartlarımız yeterli değilse akademik olarak, o zaman bir yıl öncesinde alabileceğimiz bir akademik yıl olabiliyor. Buna da Foundation yılı deniyor İngiltere'de. Türkiye'deki hazırlık Foundation yılından çok daha farklı. İngilizce hazırlık değil, tamamen akademik, eğitim almayı planladığınız bölümü kapsayan bir akademik yıl olarak görmenizi isterim. Dolayısıyla Foundation'a ihtiyacı olan öğrencilerimiz 3 değil 4 yıl okuyacaklar. İskoçya'da okuyacaklarsa 4 değil 5 yıl okuyor olacaklar. Aynı şekilde yüksek lisans öncesi de, yüksek lisans bu arada master 1 yıl, doktora da 3 yıllık bir eğitimi kapsıyor Birleşik Krallık'ta. Yüksek lisansta da bir önceki sene hazırlık yapabileceğiniz bir yıl var. Onun da ismi pre-master degree olarak adlandırılıyor. Gene notumuzun yeterli olmadığı noktada pre-master yapma şansımız olabiliyor. Lisans eğitiminde çok güzel, her üniversitede olmayan ama sunulan üniversitelerde de çok güzel yararlanabileceğimiz ve benim her lisans öğrencime de önerdiğim bir durum söz konusu. Lisans eğitiminde Sandwich Year ya da Work Placement Year'lı programlar mevcut. Yani sizi bir yıl boyunca üniversiteniz kendi network'ünde profesyonel firmalara yerleştirirler ve bir sene full time orada profesyonel çalışır öğrenciler ve para da kazanırlar. O yıl eğitim almazlar. Kendi alanlarında iş tecrübesi edinirler, para kazanırlar. Son yıllarında tekrar okula dönüp mezuniyeti tamamlarlar ve mezun olurlar. Böyle güzel bir program da var. Eminim Essex'te de vardı birkaç noktada. Şimdi yetkilimiz ondan da bahsedecektir. Birleşik Krallık'ta mezuniyet sonrası 2 yıl oturum izniyle iş bulma şansımız da var. Bu çok güzel bir avantaj. Geçtiğimiz yıl yürürlüğe girdi. Dolayısıyla İngiltere'de eğitim alan her öğrenci mezuniyet sonrası 2 yıl daha orada iş bulmak için kalma iznine sahip oluyor. Bir de Birleşik Krallık'taki eğitim başarı çıtası çok yüksek olduğu için dünya başarı sıralamasında ilk yüzde bulunan üniversite sayısı çok fazla. Bu da bizim aslında ilk yüzde bulunan üniversitelerden birinde eğitim alma şansımızı da arttırıyor. Bu da benim çok önerdiğim ve çok beğendiğim noktalardan bir tanesi Birleşik Krallık'ta. Az önce 3 yıl diye bahsetmiş olduğumuz 3 farklı ana bilim dalı var ki eğer İngiltere'de yani Türkiye'ye dönüp mesleğimizi icra etmeyeceğimiz ya da Avrupa'da ve İngiltere'de devam edeceğimizi, kariyerimize devam edeceğimizi düşünürsek 3 yıllık eğitim süreçlerinin sonrasında devam eden eğitim yıllarımız var. Onları mutlaka tamamlamamız gerekiyor. Tıp için bu 10 yıl, mimarlık ve hukuk içinse 7 yıl. Eğer Türkiye'ye dönecek isek 7 yılı tamamlamamıza gerek kalmıyor. Tıp için 5 ya da 6 yıl, mimarlık ve hukuk için de 3 yıllık eğitimler sonrası yurda dönebiliyor öğrenci. Sadece hukuk için tamamlama dersleri alıyor öğrenci YÖK'ten onay alabilmesi için. Çünkü Türk hukuku derslerini almamış oluyor. O dersleri aldıktan sonra da baroya kaydını yapıp avukat olarak kariyerine devam edebiliyor. Gerçi sistemde bu sene değişiklikler var. Artık mezun olur olmaz baroya kayıtlı avukat da olamayacak hukuk mezunu öğrencilerimiz. Bir sınava tabi olacaklar. İngiltere'de de bu böyledir. Türkiye'de de böyle olmaya başlayacak. Eğitim alanlarına baktığımızda yelpaze çok geniş. İstediğiniz her alanda bölüm, program, kurs bulma şansınız var Birleşik Krallık'ta. Benim söyleyeceklerim bu kadar. Bizlerle yeni tanışan öğrencilerimiz, velilerimiz bizlere bu adreslerden ulaşabilirler, takip edebilirler. Telefon ya da e-mail yoluyla ulaşıp sorularını sorabilirler arzu ettikleri zaman. Sunumumuzun sonunda eğer chatbox'a sorularınız varsa yazarsanız arkadaşım İmran Bey'e okuyacak, Heather da yanıtlıyor olacak. Onun için chat box'a sorularınızı yazmayı unutmayın lütfen. Ben şimdi durduruyorum ve Heather'a sözü bırakıyorum. Heather Harvey, University of Essex'ten çok sevdiğimiz bir yetkilimiz. Heather, I'm stopping now and all is yours. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So as I said, my name is Heather and I'm from the University of Essex. Let me share my screen with you. And so I'm going to try and tell you about as much as I can really in the time allocated to us. So our campus, this is kind of the first picture you'd probably see. So we are quite a campus university with lots of kind of open green spaces, and it's just quite a nice place to be. So when it comes to kind of how good is the University of Essex, with 52nd for social sciences in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, our politics department has been consistently ranked number 1 in the UK, and our sociology department is also top 30 in the world. So if you're interested in social sciences, I can kind of highly recommend a number of our departments. We also are Amber accredited and are amongst the top 2% of business schools in the world. And we have a whole range of different business, MBA, management, accounting courses within that ranking. We're also incredibly international. So as I'll tell you a bit later, kind of our location, we might seem like quite a sleepy kind of old city, but we are 22nd for International Outlook and have a range of students from all over the world study with us. In 2018, we were ranked University of the Year, which took into consideration all of these kind of rankings. So our dual intensive nature as both a teaching excellent university, as well as also having 25th in the UK for research quality. So it's not just that we're good at teaching our students, it's not just that our academics are good at researching, we're good at both of those things, which is what you're kind of looking for with cutting edge research in your teachers who can then really well convey that information to you. So as you saw a little bit earlier where Colchester was on the map, so we're down in the east of England. We do actually have 3 universities, as Essex is a county, so it kind of takes up the whole of that space. Colchester is our main campus and is where most of our courses are. So our engineering, electronic engineering, robotics, things like that, psychology, all our social sciences, our business school, our humanities are all based in Colchester, which is, as I said, a kind of a slightly sleepy looking town. It's one of the, well, it is the oldest in the UK. It's the oldest capital in the UK. And we also have all the nightlife and things like that there. And it's quite close to the coast as well. We then have Southend, which is the red S. That is a smaller campus. It specifically has health students, business students, and acting students. So if you are interested in international business, entrepreneurship, tourism management, nursing, oral health, or acting, you might be based here. This is a seaside town, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. And finally, we have Loughton. So that is our acting campus, and it is basically in London. It's on the edge of London. And so we were founded in 1964, and across all 3 of our campuses, we have around 16,000 students. So we're kind of a medium-sized university, but that is across 3 campuses. So this is Colchester. This is the campus that is all in one place. So you might be able to see in the middle here, we have what we call our squares. So we have 5 squares, and that's where all of our kind of entertainment is. So square 3 is where we have a market on Thursday. Down the bottom is where our electronics and robotics labs are, as well as our brand new STEM centre, which opened just over 2 years ago now. We also have our library at the top end by the lake, and our Silbrad Student Centre, so where you can study, get support, IT help, things like that. You can also just see all of the green space. All down the bottom and up the top is our accommodation, and we have our sports facilities. So you could move to Colchester, go to campus and never leave, is what we kind of say. You've got everything you need in one place. However, we obviously encourage you to get out. We are only an hour from London, and we're close to Stansted Airport, which you can fly direct from Istanbul. And then you can get flights to Gatwick and Heathrow and quite easily make it to Colchester as well. So Southend would be our kind of second biggest campus. So the crazy multicolour building in the background is the accommodation here. So again, you've got accommodation and your classes right next door to each other. The forum is where you have the library and the study spaces. And then the building where this photo was taken, that's kind of your main study hub. So there's an entire business floor, a health and social sciences floor, social care, floor, and also has your kind of students' union, so ping pong table where you can get drinks and things like that as well. So this one's quite compact, but it's in the heart of Southend-on-Sea. So you've got the bustling tourism industry, really close to London. It takes an hour again on the train. There are 2 train stations. You can just jump on and get to London very quickly. And this one's much more integrated into the wider community. And then finally, if you are interested in acting, we have our East 15 acting school. So this is kind of the administration building. There are then state-of-the-art studios. We have our stage production and management studios where students can make all of the costumes, they can make the staging and all that kind of thing as well. So this is a much more specialised campus, but that is also in London, which you might not think from the greenness of this picture. So we have a whole range of courses. So Sevda put up a few earlier of the kind of different areas. This is kind of a little bit more in depth, but again, we have even more courses within this. If you're an undergraduate student, you can also combine a lot of different courses. So if you're interested in doing, say, film studies and drama, politics and law, things like that, you can combine some of them together. And we also then have much more kind of niche ones. So here we have human resource management, which you can take as a master's and as part of our business and management. We have marketing, but then we have like an advertising master's as well. So if there's anything you're kind of interested in, take a look and then dig a little bit deeper, and you might find something even more specific that interests you. So as I mentioned, we are a very international university. We have students from over 130 different nationalities, and our staff are also drawn from all over the world as well. So you might be working with academics from Canada who are from Turkey. We have quite a few Turkish sociologists. We also have German lecturers, Spanish, kind of you name it. We've got someone from all over the place. Around 40% of our students are from outside of the UK. So a huge proportion of our students will be just like you, moving to the UK for the first time and experiencing what life is like. But that also gives a really interesting dynamic when it comes to the classroom. So for example, if you are coming to study politics, Turkish political system compared to the US political system, compared to the UK political system, it just allows for really interesting and organic conversations to flow within the classroom. You've also got the opportunity to kind of outwardly travel as well. So you can do placements abroad. So we also have partnerships. So you could come and study with us for undergraduate and then go to Koch, for example. We have a relationship there, or you could go to Australia, you could go to China, all sorts of different opportunities to kind of make your UK experience even more international. You can also learn a language alongside your degree. So we have the more modern languages, so French, German, Spanish, but also the ability to learn Arabic, Chinese, things like that as well. And then we have a huge range of cultural activities. So we do have a Turkish society and we celebrate lots of different cultural days. So for example, today is the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. And even though we aren't allowed to socialize with each other at the moment, our Students' Union have put on activities, so Tai Chi classes, mask painting. So there's all sorts of fun things that we usually celebrate, and you can get involved in learning about new cultures as well. So going to university, obviously it's all about studying and hopefully a love of studying, but you also want to study so you can get a better job, basically. So there's lots of things you can do whilst you're studying. So as I mentioned, the study abroad can be a great option. So it can add that even more international dynamic. You didn't just go to England, maybe you went to Germany as well for a year or a semester. There are also field trips and different conferences. So if you were interested in marine biology, you get to do field trips to the local coast, so around the Wivenhoe area in Colchester, and look at our underwater lectures, things like that. But we also have field trips to Indonesia, so you can look at the tropical marine biology out there and things like that as well. Conferences, especially if you're looking at postgraduate study, we have a system called Proficio, so it helps to fund you to go talk at conferences or to just go listen and take part. We also have a range of guest lecturers, so people come in all the time from different universities, so we have collaborations amongst different universities, any kind of research that they're doing, they can present to the students, and you can kind of be there at the beginning of some really interesting research. There's also just things like volunteering and getting a job whilst you're at university. So our careers centre and placements team will help you with this kind of thing. So they can help you to write a UK CV, because UK CVs might look quite different to Turkish ones, for example. So they can help you fine tune it. There are lots of jobs on campus as well as in town, so you can work in local shops or restaurants, but also work as student ambassadors. So we have an online platform at the moment where you can talk to students. So those students are paid kind of to talk with you guys, things like that. So there's lots of kind of quite easy jobs in that sense, as well as some of the more intense ones and placement and work related kind of career goal jobs as well. So one way to really kind of get a step up is to do a placement year. So a placement year is usually carried out in a third year of study. So you'd say come to the UK for your first and second year of an undergraduate degree, and then in a fourth year finish off your degree. So the placements team help you to find different placements. So you might work with Aldi, for example, do a lot of placement schemes, or if you're a computer science or business student, you might find firms that will take you on for that year and you gain work experience, and it's usually paid. So you're making money during that year as well. And it's a fraction of the price of your normal fees as well. So it's about 20% of the tuition fee rather than the standard 100% that you would pay. If you don't want to take a full year of doing it, or you say are maybe doing a master's degree, and so you've only got 1 year with us, you can do termly placements. So these are between 12 and 15 weeks, and they can sometimes be part of the academic study. So human rights, for example, you can do a human rights centre internship. So we have a human rights centre on campus, and you could work with them whilst you're studying. There's also kind of summer and Easter and Christmas jobs, so internships that don't count as part of your degree, but might just be really good experience for, say, a month, and obviously then boosts your career. So if you've been working with a charity, for example, for that month, and you want to go into the charity sector or become an advocate or a lawyer or something like that, it can look really good as well. Projects, so you can do group or individual work that can count as extracurricular activity, and they can contribute towards your work. And then we also have the front runner scheme. So this is where you can work for a department on a particular project. So for example, I'm a member of the student recruitment office, and we had a front runner who helped us look at different countries and where we were getting students from. And he was paid to do that kind of research and write a report and things like that. So there's lots of internal and external opportunities for boosting your CV and just kind of diversifying what you've already done. If you're maybe 17, 18, never have a job before, kind of fear not, there are plenty of opportunities for you. And if you have maybe completed your undergraduate degree, there is still certainly lots of different opportunities for you to kind of improve your career prospects whilst you're studying. So our Students' Union, you're thinking about jobs, thinking about studying, but you also want to have fun. So the Students' Union organises lots of really interesting activities. So as I mentioned, the Lunar New Year, they also do things like Welcome Week. So when we have all of our student societies and sports teams all talking to you, letting you know what options are available. We have over 100 different societies and 40 different sports teams. All of these you can get involved with for fun, for example. So if you say never played rugby before, but you're moving to the UK, so why not give rugby a go? You'd be able to do that just for fun. If you've been playing volleyball your whole life, you can come over and join the volleyball team, potentially get a scholarship from the sports department, things like that. And you're automatically a member. There's kind of no fee to join the Students' Union. You can just take part. They do really fun things during exams usually as well. It's like a petting zoo on campus, puppy therapy, which is becoming more and more popular on university campuses, things like that. And they're also there to give you advice and support, both academically and personally. And I'll talk a little bit more about support later. But this is just a range of some of the things. So some things you might not have even heard of or considered, but we have a juggling, fire and magic society. Really random, but if someone wants to do it, you can set it up. We have a Turkish society, singing societies, all sorts of different things. And if you do think of something that you really want to do and we don't have it, you can create that society if you have 2 other people. So there's always fun things to do on campus. And even at the moment, they're still obviously trying to be as active as possible and hold regular kind of film screenings and things like that together online. So we also have then the study facilities, because that is kind of why you're coming to study in the UK. So we have 24-hour computer labs and study spaces on all 3 of our campuses. We also have a Listen Again service. So even before COVID and all of our online lectures, you were able to kind of record and then listen back to lectures. So students found that really helpful for revision and things like that. So you can always access those kinds of extra things. We also have IT help desk. So if you have your own laptop and you needed help with just the whole thing's crashed, you're not very technical savvy, things like that, and you just need a bit of help, they can help you with that. But we've also then got things like if you're a computer science student and you're trying to use new software and you just need a bit of advice, they can help you with that. Skills for Success is also something that a lot of international students find really useful. So there's things like academic English. So whilst you might have passed your IELTS, you feel really confident with your English, but actually when it comes to writing your first essay, you might be a little bit nervous about the academic language. They'd be able to help you with that. If you are a psychology student and you've kind of passed the maths requirement, but you're not really good at the maths side of things, they can help you with that. So there's different opportunities for support there. We also then have all of our state-of-the-art laboratories and research centres. So whether you're studying, again, psychology or linguistics, we have a baby lab, so you can study language acquisition in children. We have a robotics centre, so strawberry picking machines, artificial intelligence. We have specific research computers in politics, for example, and translation labs and things like that, again, for language and linguistics students. So whether you're also doing like film, we have computers and software to help edit films, record films, just kind of whatever subject you're interested in, we'll have some kind of resource for you. So I mentioned the support. I've kind of talked to you already about the academic side of it, but everyone is also assigned an academic tutor or mentor. So it's a member of staff in the department who you can go and talk to about anything personal or academic. So if it's just you're really struggling with a particular essay, you can go talk to them about that. Or if you are, say, having problems at home and you kind of a little bit, or your brain is half on work, half at home, they can help you if there needs to be circumstances which give you some allowances and things like that. We also then have peer mentors, so other students, so they might be a year ahead of you, for example, and they can just talk to you and help you through the transition to the UK, the transition from your high school, whatever that might have been, to university level work, things like that, and just be a friend. We also, if you have some more kind of serious problems, have a Nightline. So Nightline has been running for over 50 years now, and it's students to student support. So it's a phone line. We also have an apartment on campus. So if you just needed to get out and talk to someone, they'd be able to help you out and be kind of a non-judgmental support. We also have 24-hour security. So if you did need kind of real emergency help at any point and you are living on campus, they'd be able to help you as well. We then have the multi-faith chaplaincy. So no matter what religious denomination you are, or if you're none at all, they are there just to kind of offer a listening service as well. And then finally, we do have an NHS medical centre on our campus. So we do have a doctor right there for you. We recommend everyone signs up with them as soon as they arrive in the UK, because you never know what's going to happen, and they're going to be there for you should you get ill. So it's always just kind of a peace of mind thing, knowing that there will be someone there to see you. So if you're moving to the UK, you obviously need to live somewhere. We have guaranteed accommodation for first year students. So whether you're undergraduate, you're a master's student or a PhD student, your first year moving to the UK, as long as you apply by the deadline, you will have somewhere to live on campus. So we have a mixture of shared bathrooms and ensuite bathrooms. We have accommodation that has 14 people in it in our towers that you can see in the picture here, right down to maybe only 4 people in our south courts. We do have a few studio apartments as well. So if you are bringing a partner over, then we also have facilities that can help to accommodate that. Or if there's not an option for you, we also have SU homes. So they help you find off-campus accommodation as well. So most of our rooms are single occupancy, so you will have your entire room to yourself. You may or may not have a bathroom. If you're sharing a bathroom, it's probably only with 2 or 3 other people, and then shared kitchens. So they're all fully equipped. They have a bed, they have a bookshelf, they have a desk, and then in the kitchen you've got your fridge, microwave, kettle, all those kinds of things. So you don't need to worry about buying furniture, you just kind of need your bedding, your towels, that. And all of the bills, internet, everything like that is included. Cleaning is included. So if you share a bathroom, you share your kitchen, that will be cleaned for you, but you have to clean your room yourself. So there's kind of no hidden costs, and they range from about £102 per week to £196 per week. So that's studio prices at the top end, and then the shared accommodation is between 100 and 150 will get you some form of shared accommodation. So if that all sounds kind of good to you, then what do you need to get in? So we accept 70% from the lycée if you're looking for an undergraduate course, or 30 points in the IB. If you're interested in a master's degree, then we'd usually look for a GPA of 2.5 from your bachelor's. If you're looking at a PhD, we'd usually ask for 2.5 GPA from your master's. And then we also would require an English language test. So we do look at IELTS, IELTS indicator, TOEFL, the TOEFL at home test, the Cambridge exam, advanced or proficiency, and it ranges depending on what subject you want to study. So if you're looking for computer science, for example, you need 6.0 in IELTS. If you're looking at speech and language therapy, it would be kind of the 8 side of things. So you do need to check each course specifically, but that's the general idea. Some will also have subject requirements. So if you are interested in biomedical sciences, for example, and at an undergraduate level, we would need you to have at least 70% in biology from high school. If you are looking to do something like politics, we look for an essay-based subject, things like that. But as a general overview, they are the entry requirements. We then do have a number of scholarships available. So if you're an IB student and you get 34 IB points or more, you would get £2,000 tuition fee discount. If you are looking for a master's, we have an Academic Excellence International Master's Scholarship. It's a bit of a mouthful, but if you have a GPA of 3 or higher, then you will automatically get a £4,000 tuition fee discount. And then finally, so whether you're undergraduate or postgraduate study, we have a non-EU Europe scholarship. So this is an award of £3,000. You just have to fill out a kind of a short application form telling us why you should get this scholarship. So it is a little bit more competitive, whereas the top 2 are automatic, but that would be open to anyone looking for undergraduate or master's scholarship from Turkey. And then if anyone's interested in PhDs, it's a little bit more complicated, as you probably know, but I can give you more information about studentships and things like that as well. So I just want to mention a couple of events. So if you're an undergraduate student, we have a whole host of different things available to you. So if you are interested in taking part in any of these kind of events, if you just head to the website and look up our sixth form events, these would be aimed at you. At the bottom as well, we also have talks and tasters. So these are on-demand opportunities to watch taster sessions about pretty much every subject at both undergraduate and postgraduate level. So you can just check them out whenever you want to. But if you want to get involved in any of these kind of specific days, find out specific information, there's plenty of different opportunities on our website. We also have a range of postgraduate webinars that we are running at the moment. So our next one coming up is economics. We also have history, language and linguistics, psychosocial and psychoanalytical studies is also due to be at the end of March. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. And then we also have maths and business as well. If you do have any questions about that, the email is on there. That will come through to myself and one of my colleagues as we are organising all of these. So if you have any questions about any of those or are interested in any of those departments, it can be just a great opportunity to get kind of a week-long taste of what those courses would be like. And most of them also issue certificates as well. So they're completely free and you can see more information again on our website if you look up PG webinar series. So thank you very much. That's everything from me. If you do have any questions, obviously you can contact the guys here or myself. That's my email address there as well. And I think we'll go to questions now.
So thank you very much for your great presentation, Heather. I will assist you regarding the Q&A session. I will start with the first question is, can you give more information about MSc Clinical Associate in Psychology?
Okay, so clinical psychology is one of those slightly more complicated ones. So we do have clinical psychology at the postgraduate level, as you say. I can send you a link in the chat which has more information, but it's kind of, there's a lot more information you have to have. So let me just quickly. So we do have it. We have the professional doctorate in clinical psychology. I think that's what we have. Yeah. Or we have psychology as a different kind of department. So this one, it would be a trainee program essentially for 3 years. And you would have to go through a couple of different areas in order to get there. What I would suggest is I'll send this to you in this chat. So let me see. There we go. So there's a lot of information on there. It's one that you probably need to read through in order to kind of take in some of the information. And then there are separate contact details on there for that particular course, as it is one of those more complicated ones. And I don't know an awful lot about it, if I'm honest. So sorry about that, but hopefully that can help. And then I can definitely help if you need more information about who to talk to about that one.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. The second question is, can you give information about MSc Intelligent System and Robotics? What connections are there about business networks?
Mm-hmm. So with the kind of robotics and all that kind of thing, we have, as I said, the robotics laboratory. So they are always working on new, different things. So we have aerial robotics, we have the artificial intelligence. They work in collaboration with our marine biology scientists on mapping coral reefs and things that you've probably not even thought about when it comes to intelligent systems and robotics. So there are lots of different projects and lecturers who have very different areas of expertise. So there is no set placement kind of network within that kind of thing, but there are lots of different research-based areas that you can go into and different networks within that one. So that would partly, I would say, would be part of your master's dissertation proposal, potentially, depending on what area you're interested in. The lecturers would then be the ones to specialize and branch out in those networks for you and help you to do so. I would say, again, look on the website, which I'm sorry doesn't sound very helpful, but it is much more specific, but we do have a very dedicated team there, and you are able to fully access all of the different equipments and things we have there as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. The following question is, can you give information about MSc Biomedical Engineering?
Yeah, so we have the MSc Biotechnology, if that's potentially what you're after, because we don't have a specific biomedical engineering. We have, when it comes to biomedical, we have biomedical, human biology, cancer biology, things like that. Or we then have engineering, or we have biotechnology. So if it's biotechnology that you're interested in, then we have, all sorts of different things to do with our genetics. We have our wet labs and things like that. You work kind of in tandem between the computer science department and the life sciences department. And we have some really interesting taster lectures with one of our lecturers on the tasters page. Her name is Ulrika. I can't remember their surname, I'm afraid. But there you can see they look at the relationships between industry, plants, gene production, all of those different kinds of things. So I think I've now forgotten what the question was, but yeah, that's kind of some more information about that particular degree. But we do definitely have a taster in kind of biotechnology on our website. If you look for the talks and tasters and look under the life sciences part, they can give you a lot more information there.
Thank you. And the following question is, what are the basic entry requirements for LLM applications like GPA, IELTS score, and other requirements?
Yeah, so for the LLM, we would look for depending on which one you're doing. So we've got LLM International Law, LLM Maritime Law, things like that. But for Turkish students, we would look for 2.5 from a law undergraduate degree or relevant traineeship, things like that as well. We would then also look for a personal statement and a reference. So why kind of do you want to come to the UK to study law, which is kind of part of the visa requirement, and a reference, but that's kind of the general. And we'd also then for IELTS look for a 6.5 for most of our LLM courses.
Thank you. Could you mention about biostatistics or statistic PhD opportunities in mathematical science?
Yeah, so we do have quite a number of different areas in that one. So we do also have in maths, what one is it? Sorry, so we have a couple of different doctoral training centres, and so depending on where specifically interests lie, you can kind of apply through some of them. So we do have a PhD statistics, sorry, I find that quite hard to say, as well as PhD mathematics. It really depends again what kind of area you're interested in, but we do have them. Kind of not, if you want to add a bit more to what the question is, I can talk a little bit more about it. But yeah, we do have studentships within those kinds of areas, depending on what exactly your question is. But yes, we do have PhDs in those areas.
Thank you. Can I apply to law department without an IB diploma? If so, is IELTS 7.5 enough to pass the foundation year?
Yeah, so if you're taking the lycée, as long as you have 70% or higher in the lycée, you do not need to do a foundation year with us. We accept the high school Turkish straight into our first year entry, and 7.5, if that's your IELTS score, then yes, that's perfectly fine.
Thank you. Does the tuition fee change if we take two majors?
Okay, so it's not quite the same as the US system. So in the US system, if you take two majors, you're basically taking like 2 degrees. In the UK, you can't do kind of dual degree as such in most cases. So if you were talking about the joint degrees where you take maybe law with politics, something like that, it would still be the one fee because it's only 1 degree. So if that answers the question, it would just be 1 degree, so it's 1 fee. It's not in the same way in the US system where you can take 2 degrees at once, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Do you have flexible starting dates for PhD programs? For example, I want to start February 2022. There is only one date in biostatistics PhD program on your website, which is October 2021. And,
okay,
sorry, if we have master's degree from UK, do you need IELTS score for PhD?
So we have usually 3 entry points for our PhDs. The first would be October, the second would be January, and the third would be April. So we don't have a February start, but we do have 3 entry points. So you could pick whichever one is kind of closest to you. And then if you have a master's degree from a UK institution already, then no, you do not need to take the IELTS again. We would usually take your proof of English language if you are moving straight from that master's to the PhD program. You've already kind of met the condition, you already proved that you can speak English, so we can accept you straight on. If there is a gap in your study, so you did get your master's a while ago, then we might ask for a more up-to-date test. But no, if you're just moving for your master's, you will not need to take the IELTS again.
Thank you very much. I'm just checking whether there are more questions on the chat box.
Yeah, I think this is it. I don't think there are more questions coming through. Well, we would like to thank you, Heather. Thank you for the very useful information and participating. It was very nice seeing you, and we hope to see you very soon in Turkey again.
Yes, thank you. I do hope I'll get to come back and talk to everyone in person sometime soon. If anyone does think of any more questions, obviously you have the contact details of both BEB and myself. So feel free to send over any questions you think of at a later date as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Çok teşekkür ederiz katılımınız için. İyi hafta sonları dileriz. Bir sonraki webinarımızda tekrar görüşmek dileğiyle. İyi akşamlar. Bye bye. See you, Heather. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you for having me.
Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.